You can't talk about the fall in West Hartford without talking about pumpkin patches, farms, enjoying the foliage, and just being outdoors. It's one of my favorite seasons with the crisp, cool weather and just the changing of the leaves. It's a great time to be around West Hartford, Connecticut. So I'm going to talk about four great family activities to really that you can do in the vicinity of West Hartford, Connecticut. That's an easy travel from there. That really just takes in the outdoors this time of year, and it's a great time for the family. So, if you have any questions about this, don't be shy. My team and I, we're always happy to talk. We get text calls and emails all the time from people watching these videos. Even if it's a quick little question, we're here. So let's jump right into it. The first fall place that I want to touch on is called Flamig Farm. It's in Simsbury, Connecticut. It's about a 15-20 minute ride from West Hartford, depending on what part of town you're in. And what makes this a great fall spot is there's a lot to do. They have animals everywhere where you can pet them, you can feed them. It's kind of up close and personal, so kids can kind of get as close as they want, as they're comfortable with. There's usually chickens roaming around, free. There's big draft horses. There's pony rides, so smaller ponies that the kids can ride. There's a little playground in the back. So that petting zoo type feel, being up close and personal, is really cool. They also, of course, have the pumpkins and the hay rides. They have a really small, store. It's smaller than some of the other places we'll get into, but they have little treats and trinkets in there, eggs, that sort of thing. So they do offer it from that perspective as well. This was one of our favorite spots when the kids were little. We could spend a long time there with just petting the animals, wandering around. We'd go there. My wife would take them there after school sometimes if the weather was nice. It definitely appeals to that younger family crowd. Sometimes, depending on the day you go, they have food trucks and things like that. So it's just a really cool vibe. It's a great ride going into Simsbury, especially if there's foliage and you're getting that changing the color of the leaves that time of year. So definitely one of our favorite spots. Another spot I wrote, and again, these are no particular order, just kind of sharing the pros and cons of what my family and I have enjoyed about these spots over the years. Another one is called Carabin Farm in Southington. This is about a half hour or so from West Hartford, depending on where you're at. Similar, just different in terms of vibe to Flamig. So Carabin has a little bit bigger store. There's a little bit more to choose from. They sell meats. There's like a farmer's market. There's vegetables there. So it's definitely a bigger store, more to choose from. They have pumpkins. They have animals, not so much for petting and not as many. Flaming really has a much better or a much more and a much more intimate setting in terms of like petting animals. But there's certainly animals at Carabin as well, and they do hay rides and have little activities for kids. So it's just another great place, another great ride in Southington. Get a lot of foliage, a lot of mountains headed in there. So it's another great place to spend some time with the family. The third one I'm going to mention is one, my kids are a little bit older now, and so this is one that we've been doing a lot past couple of years. It's called the Pick and Patch in Avon. It's a little bit lower key, so it's usually not too crowded. It's more of just an open field with pumpkins, so you can kind of get in and out pretty quick if you're just looking for a pumpkin. Where Flamig, you could easily spend a few hours there, if not longer. The Pick and Patch is a little more get in, get out. It's usually not as crowded, but they do have food trucks and things like that. They do have a little storefront there as well, with apple cider and some vegetables and farm fresh foods. So you definitely get a little bit of everything. It's just not as crowded. And it's about 15 minutes or so, depending on where you live in West Hartford. So this is a close one too. The last one I want to mention, it's a little bit more of a drive, but there's a lot more to do. You could easily spend a half day, if not more, here. It's called Lyman Orchard. It's about a 45-minute ride. But there's a lot to do at Lyman. They have a huge storefront. So by far the biggest store of all the places I've mentioned. You can get food made in there. There's farm groceries there. You can make grinders. You can get apple pies and all types of other farm, made goods and products. So it's big. It's busy, I will say, because it's a popular place. You get people from all over Connecticut going to Lyman. You could, of course, pick pumpkins there. They have a corn maze, which is pretty cool, where they make a little maze in the corn, and then you have to it's almost like a scavenger hunt. You have to solve the problems to get all the way through the corn maze, which is pretty fun, to do with kids. Yeah, obviously, fun outdoor activity. You enjoy the foliage and everything the fall has to offer. Being outside at a place like this, there's picnic tables, plenty of places to eat outside. It's also a golf course, a really good golf course. I am not a big golfer, but so I hear. It's definitely a great course for those that enjoy golfing. So, if you're going to go down with the family, you can spin this a lot of different ways. There's lots to do, besides just pick pumpkin. So it is worth the ride. It's something that if you're in West Hartford, you're going to want to do it at some point in the fall to experience it for yourself. So I just want to touch on a few that are popular in the area that we tend to hit on every fall, one way or the other. There's many more. It's, like I said, it's one of my favorite seasons here in Connecticut. If this video is helpful, if this type of video is something you want to see more of, just click subscribe. That's one of the ways I know if the content is actually resonating with you or not. It helps me understand which videos to make more of or not. And again, if you have any questions on any of this, you're out of town and you feel like I missed something, or I didn't cover something that you might want to know in terms of visiting any of these places or West Hartford in general, my team and I, we're always happy to talk. Give us a buzz. We're here, and I hope this video helped.